Rob, the heart of the city is taken on a red and black tinge tonight. The Fire have just received the key to the city in recognition of their historic achievement.
I believe there hasn't been any time the keys to the city have been given out. Today is the first time.
The fanfare is just a continuation of the party that started late last night for the Fire, and while the Mayor stopped short of declaring a public holiday, she did echo Bob Hawke's famous sentiments.
I was tempted, but it was a bit late. The girls had a big night last night, as you can see by the sunglasses many of them are wearing.
On game day, confidence was high.
Third time lucky, and we're absolutely going to take this home.
Fans frocked up in top hats and tutus as hair took on a fire flare.
I had to do something with hair this morning, know what to do, so I thought, yeah, I'll do this.
A few Spirits supporters braved enemy territory.
Interesting, it's good. Good crowd, great atmosphere, so hopefully Spirit do well.
Though their hosts weren't quite as welcoming.
Go home.
For once, silence wasn't compulsory in cinemas as live sites across the city were set up for those without a ticket. The Fire's home venue was filled to bursting as the city's first WNBL Grand Final delivered on drama.
Newly.
The Red Army roared in jubilation at full time. Green's keeping his team for the multi-million-dollar contest close to his chest.
Certainly the guys that were there last year will get first crack at it, and whatever team we put out on the paddock, we'll be, trying our best in all the games.
Jonathan Thurston has indicated he wants to play the Nines, but he'll have some work to do to convince the coach to let him play. Meet the newest, littlest Tamo. Born early Tuesday morning, weighing 9 pounds, he's still without a name, but has already changed the game for his dad.
I just said to Brett, I just feel so complete.
The wait for his arrival was an anxious one. Tamo was in Kangaroos camp last week. A return to the Rep Arena was an opportunity he couldn't turn down.
I thought I had to sort of play this game because it could be my last.
We spoke about it, and it was my support, and I wanted him to stay and play that game, and he played really well.
Tamo was one of Australia's standouts. His performance has thrown open the door to State of Origin and a chance to defend the Shield with the Blues.
That'll be in the back of my mind now for these games. Now we're closer to Origin season.
But until kick-off, there's some more family time.
Thank you for the kisses.
One is arguably the world's best playmaker, the other a footballing talent troubled by some bad PR. As he shivered in Sydney, Daly Cherry Evans shrugged off rumours of a rift with JT.
That's pretty funny. Me and him get along really well in camp.
Before Origin 3, there were reports Jonathan Thurston's influence led to Michael Morgan claiming Queensland's bench spot ahead of the Manly star.
I'm sure if JT had a problem with me, he would have brought it up.
The 216cm centre will combine with import Brian Conklin in an intimidating front court partnership.
Conklin's got enough redhead rage to fill the team. I think Luke's more of the mellow kind.
They'll form quite a formidable front line and one that I know teams are going to have to do a lot of homework to work out how they defend that.
The Crocs will manage the 32-year-old's workload to ensure his body can stand up to the rigours of a starting role. Headed into his third NBL season, Conklin says he's ready for a greater leadership role and is keen to push the relatively young team into playoffs. The Crocs are staring down the barrel for the second time in as many years. Management insists it isn't full-time for the club, but rather a timeout.
What it doesn't mean is it's the end. It's certainly far from the end.
Administrator Moira Carter is now in control of the Crocs.
And what it provides is a breathing space for that company where creditors can't pursue the company.
Moffat pinpointed this season's switch to Townsville RSL Stadium as the root of their problems.
When you have $1 million payroll and a 2,000-seat stadium, you do the math.
The Crocs had applied to the NBL for funding for next season, but a consortium of local businessmen have come forward, meaning the NBL's cash is no longer required. The driver had just begun a rest stop after dropping the last of his passengers. In less than 10 minutes, the sunbus was consumed by the inferno. Emergency services arrived on the Strand shortly after 3 p.m.
The fire on the bus actually spread pretty quickly forward, and that required the use of additional crews and additional hoses to contain that fire.
Pedestrians could do little but watch.
Then we got here and then it exploded. Sort of freaked us out a bit.
The driver in his 40s was counting its float when the fire started. He was shaken but unharmed. It's shaping as a battle of the old and new tonight, with 3 former Crocs returning to the city. Brian Conklin's tipped plenty of verbal blows to be exchanged against an aggressive Adelaide outfit. A win tonight could spur the Crocs on. It's the first of 5 games at home to end the season. Nathan.